Welcome again, everyone. Jerry's Old Guy Review with a little demonstra. So, in my comments, we have had multiple questions about my rubberized undercoat, little trick I do to modify trucks to make them look different, make them look more the way they're supposed to if it's a real truck. And just for those who aren't familiar, I generally like to do fender flares. So this is the stock fender flare that comes on an axial SCX 10.3. So it's smooth. So I use some 3M rubberized undercoat and some black paint. Sometimes I use flat. Sometimes I use semi. What is that called? Satin. It's a semi. You know, I've done it to this truck with the TRX Ultimate Hauler. I did this one with a different exterior paint because I wanted to match up the paints I did. So this one isn't up to my normal standards because you can see it's had rubs and it comes off. Now, the SCX 10.3 has had many trips, and this was the question, was the durability. So, you know, you can sand them a little bit if you want some extra stick, mainly with the 3M product. Once you put it on, it adheres pretty well to plastic. You know, then there's Ron Phoenix and the Fordyce, you know, textured. Let me see, what do we do? Oh, we got the Element Sendero. We got a TRX4 Sport. You know, held up. This truck sits up really high, and I haven't really, you know, got underneath it so well to tear it up anywhere. Now, my super ginormous 2 years before Traxxas, I keep saying that because it's true. I used a different kind of paint on it, and you can see where it's been getting rubbed. So it rubbed it off, chapped me a wee bit. But we go to the Sen 450. I did the whole bottom of this in that. And you know, when you get a solid black truck, that's the easiest way to make it different. You know, some of these trucks come with really good protectant cover. Here's a very toned down version on the Red Cat Gen 8. Now the Red Cat Marksman is the only one that I did some good scuffing on this one. This is literally the only one. This one could use some more sanding, but since this truck comes painted on the inside, I didn't want to, you know, take that exterior paint off too much. But even as good as this gouge was, the 3M was enough that it didn't even scuff that paint off that's made to scuff off. You know, that was a over and over whacking the same spot. But let's go over to my longest. Is it going to zoom in on that? So this is my longest done. This is the honcho body for the OG SCX 10.3. And, you know, a lot of times I just don't bother cleaning very much of the external bits. But you can see there, it's been scuffed off pretty good from rolling and sliding. But, you know, the rest of it, not too bad. But going over to the table, here is the OG longest 2007, 2008 was when the Axial kit first came out, the XCX 10. Now, you'll see it's smooth, it's shiny. All the underbits. You'll see that it's still on, and you're not really seeing the plastic underneath, but it has made it super smooth from being rubbed so much. So I'm just going to show you what I do. You know, here's the UMG 6x6. It's still got some greenery in the tires, but meanwhile, this truck, the bumper was done. I mean, look, it's tore off the paint all off of the front, but meanwhile, the underside of the bumper has taken it in stride. So I've done like a twofer on this one. So I've made a demonstraw. So what we're going to do, that's all I do, and this is the stuff I buy constantly right here. 08881 rubberized undercoat, 3M. And, you know, I always pre-spray it a little bit, get that opening. Now, I don't go crazy. I've got this piece of Lexan, and that's it. I just do a quick cover in a spruce. You know, if you're going for a deeper, you know, you can do it almost all the way. You know, you can still, you see through it. But what you want to do now when you paint the body is to just let this sit for a while. You are not going to want to mess with it. This is a perfect project for paint it, move on to some other part of the project, and then let this get good and dry. You know, if you go upstairs, steal your wife's hair dryer. And conveniently, I sprayed another one before I started. Oh, and I didn't think this through because the other one is still moist. So let me try this with two hands. Because what my favorite... Whoa, I'm messing this all up. Okay. So, we're going to put this here because I sprayed the other side and I don't want to get 3M rubberized undercoat all over everything. So this one, let's just scooch that down a little bit. So right now, this is my preferred, the Krylon camouflage paint, that it is non-reflective. So, you know, little spray. It seems to, in these small areas, seems to do very well. So now, boom, you're working on your bench. You've got this sitting off to the side. A lot of times I put a coat or two on it. And the fender flares are usually small enough that it will not, they don't flex a lot for this paint to flake off. And as you saw from the ones I've showed you, even when they, even when they take a hit, they don't flake off conventionally. And then you can just, you know, tape off a small section and touch it up. So there it is. A lot of people have been asking about it. That is my 3M rubberized undercoat trick for, you know, body lines. You know, when it's a big section of the body, I just use the RC paint. And it seems to come out pretty good flat-wise compared to when you put it on the inside. So, good choice. You know, there we go. You let that dry, and now you've added an extra layer to your vehicle. And I hope this answers some questions. Jerry's Old Guy Review. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. And I will also make a video for you. Thanks again.